everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you are a returning subscriber, then you will know that I equate seduction to theater, and life to a kind of performance piece. As an aesthete, I believe in poeticizing your presence, to use Robert Greene's words. I believe it is the best use of your time, to transform every movement into a work of art. In my world, nothing is without meaning. Symbolism permeates everything. This is the second episode of the Tips and Tricks spin-off for the How to Be Ethereal series, where I divulge stylistic tactics to help you turn into an unforgettable, godlike figure. My goal is to immortalize you so that your presence may supersede this lifetime. And today we're definitely turning up the volume a bit and going to almost unnecessary stylistic ends, but that's why it's fun. Today, I want you to consider your environment as a conscious stylistic choice. To use setting as a representation of yourself and as a way to stimulate intrigue. You should make your surroundings work for you. To explain this more clearly, I want to show you a still from one of my favorite movies, Lolita. The 1997 version, not the 1962 version, okay? Because obviously the 1997 version is supreme. Why did I choose this specific film? Well, we are looking at the film simply for this scene and this kind of portrait of the Lolita character, and not to discuss the moral problems of the plot. I'm using this scene because I believe it is one of the most beautiful portraits of a character ever portrayed in film. No matter how disturbing it may be. Art is not moral, people. And the score by Ennio Morricone is just chef's kiss. It's transfixing, it's haunting, and I'm told it's one of his best scores that he ever created. Anyway, the scene that I'm referring to is the scene where Humbert meets Lolita for the first time. I will not show the clip, I'm gonna link it below because it's about 1 minute and 13 seconds long. Please watch it. Or just enjoy the still that I provide, because the actual clip itself is too long for me to include it in this video without getting copyright infringement. But it's definitely worth clicking away and watching, because that 1 minute and 13 seconds is very important. So for now, I will show the image here. Now, we do not need to know what this movie is about. Who Lolita is, she doesn't even need to speak. Her just leisurely laying in the grass, sopping wet from head to toe in a dress, just reading is, most people would feel uncomfortable in the way that she's just lounging in the grass. It takes a very certain kind of girl to enjoy that feeling, a nymphette, as Humbert would call her. This vignette of Lolita is meant to portray her intrinsic sensuality. She's also in a garden too, which also kind of carries on this kind of forest nymph-like persona. I just need to make a disclaimer, since I am using this film as reference. The portrayal of Lolita in this film is inappropriate. It is through Humbert's point of view, and I acknowledge that. Please don't come for me. Like I said again, we're not talking about the moral logistics of this film. So this about 1 minute long vignette of Lo is meant to say something about her. Every detail in films is deliberate because nobody has the time or the money to waste valuable screen time on something superfluous. Like Chekhov said, if there's a gun, it must go off. This scene is meant to give us a portrait of her before we even figure out who she is. To me, her surroundings, where she is in the garden, next to the sprinkler, what she's doing, everything that surrounds her conspicuously says that she is an unusually sensual and youthful girl that is much more aware of her body and her desires than other girls her age. At least this is how Humbert portrays her. This is how the movie chooses to portray her. This is how the book chooses to portray her. Now, we don't have to talk about this film anymore, as I know it makes some people uncomfortable. However, it does serve as a wonderful example. Now, I have used this selection of vocabulary before, and I will continue to use it. Think of life, of your seducing somebody, as theatrical. You are a character in a movie, in a play. Your personality or persona or character should be as apparent as stage makeup, and we should be able to get a clear vision of who you are from all the way back in the back row. I have discussed in my How to Be Ethereal series the importance of creating a persona. The makeup, the hair, the colors you wear, books you read, your interests. You have to curate yourself. So much so, in relation to this video, that you are only present in places where your persona belongs. Your persona or character is so concrete that you can only be seen in certain places. Now, this can be interpreted literally. There are many people that won't go to certain clubs, bars, coffee shops, beaches, because they don't identify with the atmosphere. They don't identify with the setting. The phrase, "I wouldn't be caught dead at," breaches the conversations of these individuals. I am one of these individuals. You'll never see me at a sports bar, for example. 4 flat screens over top of the bar, all showing different angles of a football game. It's not gonna happen. Do I look like I belong in a place like that? No, of course not. I wouldn't be caught dead there. If there is a place that you go to a lot, a place that you frequent, odds are you feel that the place suits you, or is a reflection of you, or reaffirms whatever status you have in your mind about yourself. We do this all the time. Everybody does this. We go to places that reflect us. We surround ourselves with people we feel have maybe a portion of us in them. Think about who you are, or better yet, how you want to be perceived by others. Write down 5 adjectives for yourself, and then it's time to become a set designer. How do those adjectives translate into a physical space for you to exist in? If you are, let's say, mysterious and sensual, maybe it's a red velvet prohibition bar where the lighting is never above dim. If you're eccentric and bold, maybe you're at the foot of a Persian carpet stage at a basement concert with glitter and sweat in your hair. A singular light bulb hanging from the ceiling reflecting off of the glitter. You have to think, what is your go-to spot? What is the bar that people can expect you to be at on a Friday night? Which table are you sitting at the coffee shop? Do you even go to a coffee shop? Do you like to hang out in dilapidated concrete jungles with graffiti all over the ground and drink liquor out of a paper bag? Are you sitting in the grass next to 2 black swans at Forest Lawn wearing white opaque tights? Know yourself, know your setting. Just as your personality informs your persona informs the environment. Like I said, you're a character in a movie. Think of it like that. Think about all of the characters in novels and in films in which the director, the producer, the writer, they all make sure that characters have specific scenes that introduce them into the story. The setting, what they're wearing, what they're doing, it's almost always deliberate. Think like that. How would you be introduced into the plot of a film or a novel? Now, to take this to the height of stylistic extremes, you can follow in the footsteps of silver screen stars who use shadow and light to their advantage, the oldest forms of manipulation. An example of this would be, let's say, if you want to appear goddess-like or heavenly, sit near a window with very strong sun and let it kind of illuminate a halo around your head. This works especially well for people with blonde hair or lighter hair. If you want to be mysterious, lounge in dark corners of rooms so that portions of your body are obscured. I personally do this a lot. A really lovely idea is to lay under a tree where the sun kind of dapples your skin with light that's coming through the leaves. This can also be done with patterned curtains if you so wish to lay on the floor of a bedroom or something like that. You can use colored lighting, for example, too, especially since colored lighting stirs kind of unconscious responses in the same way that light and shadow does. I know countless people who have done this for parties, for example. It definitely sets a mood. Again, like I said, light and shadow are the oldest forms of manipulation and obscurity, and they produce the most instinctual responses in people. They produce unconscious responses in people. So it's good to practice use with those mediums as well. In conclusion, this video is fairly simple at heart, and it carries the same message as my persona episode for How to Be Ethereal. Figure out who you are and let that reflect in everything you do, including where you are. Life is your stage, so take it one step further by using your surroundings to say something about you too. Okay, thank you everyone for watching this video. I will tell you, this was a bitch. There's a reason why this video was late. My laptop screen is literally like in half. I can only see half of my screen, and I've been struggling with friends trying to use different screens and record audio. My audio failed the first time around. It's been a trip, guys. So getting this video out has been a hell of an accomplishment, I'll tell you that. So please like, subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, comment. I love hearing your comments, and I will see you guys next week. You can count on it. Goodbye.